Right, hello students, here we go. We have exam style dividing decimals. So if you have good number skills, this is easy, and if you have the right technique, this is easy as well. So what I would start with is write this as a fraction, because division is just like fractions. So 14.6 divided by 0.12. Now we like to deal with whole numbers. It's safer to do it like this so you don't make a mistake. We want to deal with whole numbers, so I have to times top and bottom by 100. So we turn this into whole numbers. So we get 1460 divided by 12. Now, because we're dividing by 12 here, that actually makes it long division, and we're making it a bit more challenging for ourselves if we leave it like this. So I would simplify this fraction to make it a lot easier. So if I halve top and bottom, we get 730 divided by 6. Can we halve that again? Yes, we can, because they're both even numbers. So that's 365 divided by 3. So now we've got to do our bus stop. 3 into 365. How many 3's going to 3 is 1. How many 3's going to 6 is 2. How many 3's into 5 is 1. Let's add our extra zeros in. There's 2 extra, so that remainder was 2. 3's into 20 is, put the decimal point in, 6. Remainder 2. 3's into 20 is 6, remainder 2, and you can see that is reoccurring, and that is actually 2/3. So that answer is 121.6 with a dot, and that would be the exact answer. Alright, now pause the video and give the question below a go, and I'll show you the answer shortly. Now here's the final answer, and if you got that right, really well done. Let's have a look at the next question. So here we go. A cube has a total surface area of 96 centimeters squared. So that's surface area, and that squared is important. Now work out the volume of the cube. Now we should all have the skills to do this, and it's a grade 4 skill, but it's just combining all these skills together. So what we have is a cube. We know a cube has all the same sides, so we could argue that they're all called x, and we need to find the volume x cubed. Now a cube, a net of a cube has 6 sides, and that would provide the surface area. So we need to do 96 divided by 6. Now if you can't do that mentally, do the bus stop. So 6 into 9 is 1, remainder 3, 6 is 36 is 16. So 1 square of the surface area is a 16 centimeters squared cubed. So what is each side of a square? So we square root 16, so we know it's 4 and 4. So that means we know x equals 4 on this diagram here. So all we need to do for our last step is 4 cubed, which is 4 times 4 times 4, and the answer is 64 centimeters cubed. Easy 4 marks if you know what to do. Right, give the question below a go, pause the video, and I'll show you the answer in a moment. And here's the answer. If you got that right, that's good. Remember this skill, apply your skills, and that's a big 4 marks in your pocket. Okay, nice grade 4 question on non-calc, can appear on a calc. The table gives information about the distances thrown in meters at a school sports day. So you've got distance between this range, 0 and 2, and that frequency means 5 people through this distance. 10 people was in between 2 and 4, and so forth. So how do we draw a frequency polygon? You need to calculate the midpoint of each class interval, plot the class frequency at the midpoint for the class, and connect the plotted values using straight line segments. It has to be used with straight lines so it looks like a polygon, which is a multi-sided shape, the meaning of the word polygon. So let's first write the midpoints down. I'm going to do that to the left. So the midpoint is 1, the midpoint of that is 3, this is 5. And if you have more difficult numbers, which you can get on occasion, you just add the two numbers and divide it by 2. So 6 and 8 is 14, and the midpoint is, so 14 divided by 2 is 7, and this is 9. But this you can do by inspection, which is looking. So you get these midpoints. That's step 1 done. Plot the class frequency at the midpoint for the class. So at 1 we have to plot 5. You get marks for plotting. At 3 now we plot 10. At 4, no, be careful, at 5 we plot 21. Now we have to look at this scale and be careful. Can you see there's 10 squares between here? So we do 10 divided by 5, because that difference is 5. From here to here is 5. We get the answer of 2. So actually each 2 squares must be worth 1. And so we need to get that correct. So that is actually up here. Now at 7 we have 18, so 2 squares is worth 1. So do be careful with that. I showed you that because that is a common error students make, and 9 is 1. Now I'm not going to be able to draw a straight line very well on here, but this should be with a straight line. And these are terrible straight lines, so use a ruler. Now I do want to add that technically true frequency polygon, so it makes a polygon actually should start at 0 and end at 0, starting with the 0 for the class and 10 at the bottom. But I do want to be clear that for GCSE maths I am pretty certain that if you do not have this section and you do not have this section, that will be correct as well and you get the full marks. But the term frequency polygon implies that that graph should make a polygon and not just a series of lines, and that makes a polygon. And that's something that you extra information, but if you just drew the line in blue that would have been perfect. Now let's look at this picture and diagram. A very easy grade 5 if you can solve equations and form them. This is not drawn accurately. So angle A is twice as big as angle D. So, and it says work out the size of angle A. You must show all your workings. This is very important. It's 3 easy marks for you. So there are many ways you can do this. You could even do this mentally, but I would encourage you to use algebra because this will give you high level problem solving skills for more difficult questions. Angle A is twice as big as angle D, so if it's twice as big we can call this 2x, and so D is x, so A is twice as big as D. Now a four-sided shape, four-sided polygon, its total interior angles equals 360. So we know these 4 added together mustn't equal 360. So 2x add x is 3x, add 140, add 58 equals 360. That will get you a method mark. Now let's combine. 3x plus 198 equals 360. Remember, this is non-calc, so that's minus 1898 from both sides. So 3x equals 162. And so we divide by 3, divide by 3. Let's just make sure we get this right. If you can do this mentally, well done. 3 into 16 is 5, remainder 1. 3 into 12 is 4. So x equals 54. And that skill can come up quite frequently and it's useful for many questions. Well done. So for this question, maybe go back to the beginning and try it on your own, because I haven't got a question for you to try for these two, just due to the nature of these questions, and I believe you will be good at this skill without another bit of practice. Well done. Okay, next question. Let's have a look at this one. Quite straightforward if you can apply skills and use a bit of problem solving. It's a grade 5 question. So the volume of a cuboid is 2000 centimeters cubed. Now the height is 50. We have to use this information. Now the cuboid exerts a force of 120 newtons on the floor. Work out the pressure on the floor due to the cuboid. So all the information we have is pressure equals force divided by area. So it's given us the force, which is 120 newtons. That's a force, so we need to find the area of the cuboid, and then it becomes very easy, this question. So what we're trying to find here is this area here at the bottom of the cuboid. Now we've got the volume equals 2000, so we just need to do 2000 divided by 50, which hopefully you know is 40. So we use the formula. Pressure equals the force, which is 120 over 40, and we get the answer of 3. That's it. Now pause the video and try the question below, and then I'll give you the answer. And here's the answer below. We actually get the same area, which is really good. So just to be clear, that 40 centimeters squared is the area of this section, although the question is the height is 60, because remember the volume of a cuboid is the cross section, the area of the cross section times its height or length or depth. That's the way to find the volume of any prism. If we weren't 100% sure before, that should be straightforward. Now let's look at this grade 6 question using our skills of indices. Now we should know that that squared in the bracket means this multiplied by itself. So we have to do 3 squared. This is a common mistake all students make. 3 squared is 9. Now, when it is in a bracket with powers, we multiply the powers to make 8. So that's 9x to the power of 8. And you can see here we expanded it. You can see we add the powers with times. This and this are the same thing. And that's y to the 10. We have to simplify all this, so we are going to get, we add the powers, so we're going to get 3x cubed to the y 9. So our final sum is down here, y 10 over 3x cubed y to the 9. We can divide the numbers, so that becomes a 3. 8 minus 5 is 8 minus 3, is 5. So that's the 5. So we can see that there. We're dividing those two. And 10 minus 9 is 1. So we can just write y. Hope that one makes sense. Now, can you try this one below on your own and see if we can get this correct? Pause the video and give it a go. And if you got this final answer, well done. Just remember 3 cubed, because we're doing 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. X cubed times x cubed times x cubed is x to the 9 and y to the 9. You simplify and you should get this. Excellent work if you got that. That is another 3 marks in your pocket, and it is in this form.